It's an absolutely absurd day in the world of Magic the Gathering. There has just been a leak of an upcoming baseball-themed secret lair, and it really is emblematic of the downfall of Magic.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for a tragic installment of Mega Magic News Secret Lair Edition. So, as I mentioned, there was a leak. Ultra Pro put out a post. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see yourself. This is a playmat based around a baseball secret lair. Pretty out there, right? Well, guess what? After this leak happened, it turned out a few hours later, Wizards came out and said, yo, we've got a full-on super drop to show you. So not only do we have this insane baseball secret lair to talk about, but we have a number of other problem secret lairs to discuss as well. Now, when it comes down to it, I do have to admit, it is beautiful that they've chosen a baseball secret lair in regards to what's going on with Magic overall, because Magic is in its what's known as the wax cards baseball era. So baseball cards had this period of time where they were basically printed to oblivion. They had all these different variant arts. All the cards crashed down to nothing, right? It just basically pretty much almost obliterated the sports card game, and they had to come up with crazy stuff like, yo, what if we took a sweaty baseball guy and tore his shirt off and chopped it up into pieces and like stapled it to cards? Maybe we could sell it then. And that's where the idea of serialized cards came from as well. And Wizards of the Coast has already been leaning into these different tricks of the baseball wax era. So it is genuinely an emblem of the state of Magic, because Magic is in a very rough spot. Now, I do want to take a moment to say that the concept behind the baseball cards does have some fun flavor to it. If you actually flip them over on the back, they have a little bit of stats action like it's a rookie card. Now, I'm not like a huge baseball card kind of guy, and overall, this represents something very bad for Magic, but on a granular level, I find this to be a fun concept. If Magic the Gathering was healthy right now, everything was good, I would just look at this and go, yo, this is fun. But the game absolutely is not in a good state. You have to understand that what's going on with the secret lairs right now, I don't know if they put somebody new in charge of it or I just never knew who was in charge of it, but she basically came out and said, okay, here's the deal. We're going to be doing even more secret lairs. We're hoping to surprise you with them out of nowhere like we saw with the Angel secret lair. But this secret lair drop has 8 different secret lairs in it, and virtually all of them are massive rip-offs and are ultimately disappointing. Now, when it comes to secret lairs, obviously they are a very much to-taste kind of product where you go, okay, you know what, I like this vibe, I don't like this vibe. But originally when secret lairs came out, they were picking cards that were more difficult to come by and coming up with fun, interesting treatments. And now the secret lairs are just random slapdash nonsense. And also, this time around, they're pulling the same shenanigans that they did in the past with what I call the reprint equity double dip. And if you don't know what I mean by that, remember when they did Concordant Crossroads in a secret lair and everybody ran out and ordered those secret lairs, and then they went, surprise, we're actually also reprinting Concordant Crossroads in this set right afterwards. And you just go, wait a minute. This card hasn't been printed since the beginning of Magic, and now you're reprinting it like twice, bam, bam. And this is the sort of stuff we're seeing all over the place. Look at Commander Masters. Commander Masters had Doubling Season in it, right? And then all of a sudden they go, by the way, Doubling Season is in Wilds of Eldraine. So you have the same sort of overlap happening with one of these secret lairs, where the card Oppression is in the Wilds of Eldraine Special Archive variants, but now we also have a secret lair that has the Oppression in it too. So they're basically looking at cards and going, okay, How do we get the most out of the secondary market value of this? Oppression is a card that's hard to come by, but that's just because they haven't reprinted it in a long time. They also know, yo, this is one of those cards. There's certain cards that when you reprint them, instead of it cratering the card, what it actually does is create increased demand. We saw that with Tarmogoyf when it came to the actual first printing of Modern Masters. Instead of Tarmogoyf tanking down because there was more supply, people wanted more of them. They're like, yo, I've got a Tarmogoyf, I actually want to get more and play with them. So you have a scenario where there are certain reprints that are going to get gobbled up and they won't be enough to satisfy the appetite of the player base. But when there's a reprint that Wizards has looked at, because they pay way too much attention to the secondary market. This is ultimately what makes the biggest problem for the game. They pay way too much attention to the secondary market, and as a result, they make these decisions where they go, look, we're going to reprint Oppression, but when we do, it's going to crash. So put it in the Secret Lair, and we'll put it in Wilds of Eldraine, and we'll just milk every possible penny out of it. And the focus on extracting as much value from the secondary market as possible while not focusing on creating a healthy game. Remember, Standard has died based on all of this. Once Wizards started their whole, yo, we're going to target all these reprint grabbins, all this kind of stuff. We're going to stop paying so much attention to actually making a balanced format. We're going to lean into Commander. So it's Commander and reprints. That's what Magic has become. This Secret Lair, it's crazy. This Secret Lair drop has so much garbage in it. And there are Secret Lairs, when you total up the cards in them, they're worth about $6. So it's become the point, and this was originally broadcast to us as, yo, check it out. We're only going to make Secret Lairs available for like a week, and once you get them, they're gone. They're never coming back, and we're not going to do it again. But now we live in the era where they literally made a special Secret Lair Atraxa with like a Capenna side frame, right? And then they turn around and they make a new Atraxa with a Capenna side frame and just shove it into regular packs. Like, Secret Lair has been made into a non-special item. I'm going to show you the only cards from this Secret Lair drop that actually matter. This drop they put a bunch of effort into, and it's really cool. So the first card we're going to look at is Food Chain. Take a look at this concept. This is a VHS-based Secret Lair, right? So it taps in to the nostalgia vibe, but so much effort is put into all the little details. You can see the little price sticker on it. Like, check it out. Once they were done renting it and the copy was all beat up and they're done with it, they put it in the sales bin. The little sticker that's stabbed down there. So you got Food Chain, you got Rampant Growth, you got the first sliver, and you got Rewind. Now, when you take a look at this overall, this is everything a Secret Lair should be. This is a good Secret Lair. You have multiple desirable cards. Now, obviously, a lot of the value in this is loaded into the first sliver. But when you look across the board, you go, okay, wait a minute. These are solid cards. And even when you look at the cards that maybe don't have the highest market value, for example, Rewind is not a valuable Magic card, but it's a really cool include here because it fits thematically perfectly into the concept, right? So you go, okay, it looks like you put a whole bunch of effort into this, right? And the cards that are in it are desirable too. This is the perfect marriage of style and desirability. This is what every Secret Lair should be. They have a Kev Walker Secret Lair that I'm not even gonna bother to show you guys because it just feels so everyday and humdrum. Kev Walker's done like 500 cards, and I swear when I was looking at the Secret Lair, my brain just had the feeling, I'm like, are they even doing the old Artist Series Secret Lairs like they used to, where the artist actually gets to pick the cards they want to do? Or is this literally just, well, we have a bunch of Kev Walker art sitting around, why don't we just shove some of it onto Secret Lair cards? It's mind-blowing, the choices that they're making, and it's so scattershot across the board. We have a ruined Standard that's gone to being 3 years now. That was their solution. We're going to do less bannings, and we're going to force the format to be more stale by having it go for a full extra year before the rotation would happen the way it used to, right? This is absolute desperation from this company. And you can see it on multiple levels where the shipping cost for this stuff is lower than usual. Like, not shipping cost, sorry. Free shipping threshold has dropped down. They're making all these different tweaks. And when you're buying a bundle now, they're actually giving you a genuine discount. And Wizards isn't planning on slowing down in this regard. One of the things that drives me crazy about all this is they're trying to do a million things at once. You have all of these different secret layers that they're slapping together. Then you have the regular sets that they want us to buy. And then you have all of these universes beyond. But it seems like only universes beyond is getting any kind of real fair treatment, with the exception of that one secret layer we just looked at. It feels like it's all just slapdash. Let's see if we can get you to buy it. Also, it's going to be available for 45 days. There's nothing special about secret layers anymore. The cards that are in them could be in literally any Magic product. On top of that, Wizards is going out and just giving out individual secret layer cards at events and then individually packaging them and going, oh, but these are special numbered Merfolk of the Pearl Trident and things like that. They are all over the place. And the one thing it seems like they're not doing is focusing on making the game work. If you weren't here before all of these bells and whistles, you got to understand that Secret Lair is just emblematic of how insane we've gotten further down the road with this crazy nonsense where anything they can come up with, they'll go with. But it used to work like this. We're going to focus on Standard. We're going to make Standard a good playable format, and everything will grow from there. But if you look underneath it, you can see there were people who were hired to work on Lord of the Rings specifically. Yo, we're working on this. We want to make sure we have cards that disrupt Modern. We want to make sure we have cards that have an impact on Modern. So Wizards is sitting there going, how do we get cards into every format? You used to get cards into every format by just designing sets properly. And slowly but surely, they would make their way into other formats. But Wizards was like, no, no, no. We want to force rotation into every set, like every format, so people have to buy, right? Lord of the Rings, Orcish Bowmasters, and the One Ring. You think Wizards didn't know the effect it was going to have? Look at the ban announcement they did where they unbanned 2 cards. Look, we did something. We unbanned cards, guys. Also, the entire conversation for this entire article is going to be about how Bowmasters and One Ring are totally fine and need more space to breathe, and it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that we plan to print these cards for the next 2 years. Like, the one thing they don't seem focused on anymore at all is the health of the game itself, right? It's just like, it's like if you had a kid and you just kept stapling banjos and stuff to him going, play the banjo, do all the stuff, Billy, daddy needs money. And then there's so much weight on the kid and you haven't even fed the kid. And you're like, why is he laying on the ground going, gibba, gibba? It's like, you got to feed the kid. You got to keep the game itself stable. If you want to milk all this, like they're pulling the bones out of the child to sell and then go, why can't he stand up no more? Because you took his bones out. This worked before. You had a system that worked for 25 years. And now, like, bro, I love secret layers. I love alternate arts, and I want that stuff for my cube, but I'm having such a difficult time enjoying it because they're being so lazy with it. Yo, one of the 8 drops is another version of Party Hard, Shred Hard, Party Hard. That kind of, they're redoing it. Shred Harder, Party Harder. And it's like, we're already back with the serpent's eating its tail now. You're literally doing like follow-ups, sequels to secret layers. There's a million other things that you could do. It's just so lazy and greedy. And ultimately, if they were taking care of the game properly and it felt healthy underneath, this would just look like a product. Okay, cool. It's not for everybody. It's something you can grab. But they're spending so much time and focus on all this stuff for diminishing returns. Secret layers are languishing as a product. You have to understand that. That's part of why Wizards is making them on offer for so long, because now it takes longer to make as much money off of them. So they go, well, we got to sell it for like 2 months. But what makes secret layers special? You can literally see near identical cards coming up as like bonus cards in other sets that add nothing on. It's this crazy thing where everything is about reprints now. Everything is about reprints. I was talking down with Buddy at the local game store today, and I was saying they need to ease off with this archive stuff. Look at how it cannibalized everything. You got Commander Masters, Wilds of Eldraine archive, and his response was, yeah, but those reprints are the only thing that's putting value in the set. That's what's pushing the packs and things. That's a really bad place to be. When you come out with new stuff and your newness is only moving because of this old desirable stuff, but then you're printing it into the ground, you don't, the oxygen tank is running out of oxygen. I don't know how else to put this, right? Like, you got the tubes, Magic's got the tubes in its nose, the oxygen tank is going dunk, 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 and Wizards is off there going, a fiddle-dee-dee, give all the money to me. And then they're just like, I can't breathe over it. Shut up. Anyways, originally I was like, yo, maybe we'll go through all the secret Lair stuff and I'll talk about all the cards individually. But the more I went through everything, the more incensed I got. I was like, this ain't right, man. Magic is in a really rough spot. And this is just emblematic of it. The whole baseball thing is glorious, right? Because, like I said, the wax era. Now, if you're interested in problems going on with other card games, I put out a video yesterday on my other channel about a Lorcana disaster, and that's pretty juicy, so I'll leave a link to that up on the screen and to the Eldraine pre-release kit opening I did as well yesterday if you want to check those out. Big shout out to my patrons. Thanks for coming and listening to my admittedly somewhat possibly disjointed ramblings here, because I do feel worked up, and I'm not sure if I quantified myself 100%, but I'm sure you get the overall feeling of how it's going for me and my view on Magic. I want things to get better. Them getting money in the short term isn't the game getting better, and things look really ugly right now. Thanks for hearing me out, my friends. See you next time.